All right, we are recording. Hope everybody's doing great. It is Monday, the 26th of February. We got 2 days left of this short, stinking month. I hate February. It needs to be longer. They need to take all the 31 days on the rest of the months and put a couple of them down here in February. Need it to be longer. But we've got 57 days into the year. We got 308 left. Hope y'all are doing awesome with all of your goals. I say that just about every time I get on, and I actually mean that. I hope everybody is actually writing their goals. Put those down. Put those goals down on paper and make sure I write mine down twice a day. I write them in the morning when I get up, and do it also before you start answering text messages or Messenger or Facebook or emails, because just as soon as you start doing that, the day is no longer yours. You are reacting. So be intentional. It's a small little thing. But I hope you guys are writing your goals down. Do that first while your mind's clear. And then just before you go to bed, and what happens is that subconscious starts chewing on it. That's what's happening when you're sleeping. It's figuring out how it's going to actually make all that crazy stuff you wrote down actually happen. And when you write it down, some other things for your notes is write it down as past tense, that it has already happened. As a big deal. Write that down as past tense. That helps. It tells the mind that this is already a done deal. If you say someday I'm going to hit whatever rank it is that you want to hit, or whatever your goal is that you want, not that all goals are tied to a rank by any stretch of the imagination, but that's a nice one to be able to put down. Put it down for the fact that it's already occurred. Because if you put it down, oh, that's going to happen in the future, it's going to stay in the future. It's that simple. It's that specific on how you need to make it. So I hope everybody is making strides on hitting those. Obviously, back from Las Vegas, we had an amazing time at the Grant Cardone Growth Conference. It was unique. It was a unique experience. I will absolutely say that. Some of the common thread that I think between all of us that had went to that, you had folks like Mr. Miles Stallard, who y'all saw on the last Power Hour. You had Mr. Spencer Wynn, Miss Sarah Ho, Miss Sonia Ho, all diamonds or higher. And a common theme between them was, we really, 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 really do conventions and conferences a whole lot better in what we do. And it was a fact. Our speakers, it's very rare that you're going to have a speaker that you just like, man, they were really terrible. You don't see that because we do it so much. We're constantly talking with people. We're constantly speaking with people. And a lot of these folks that were on, it was sometimes it was tough to sit through. But the important thing, one of the lessons learned I got that I want to share with you guys is it's a matter of finding the golden nugget. Always make sure you walk away from, whether it's sitting here listening to me go on and on, if it's, listening to the Team Fusion call, if it's, listening to the Breakfast of Champions call, whatever it is, make sure you walk out with actionable information. Make sure you put something in your notes to be able to use that. And then most importantly, the worst thing is just writing the notes and never going back. Make sure you're constantly going back and reviewing those notes. And most importantly, putting them into action. That is so huge. Everybody, you hear it all the time. Knowledge is power. Knowledge is not power. It is potential power. Knowledge put into use is power. That's where you're able to short circuit and learn things a whole lot faster, not sit there and have to make all the same mistakes. So just a couple things that are bouncing in my head from that event. But as always, welcome to Power Hour. The purpose of this for our new folks, and I see some new names on here. I see a lot of familiar faces. I appreciate you all jumping on. Spread the word on this. I know a lot of people on here are growing. I know you're bringing in new people into the organization. And when you do, really push for those people to jump on this call. What that'll do is it's going to get them knowledge. It's going to get them things that they can action on. And don't just assume that they know. Don't assume that after you tell it to them one time that they know. That's just not the case at all. It always takes a whole lot more going through. That's right, Jason, blame Caesar on that one. Yeah, Augustus screwed us on February, man. I'm going to have a chat with that man. So what we do with Power Hour is, what this is ultimately, the goal of this is to increase skills. And that can increase skills for people that have been doing this for, 3-4 years. It can increase the skill of somebody that's been in for 15 minutes in the business. So this is open to everybody. I want to reiterate that. Some people say, Casey, I'm concerned that, we're taking a spot that could be better used by somebody else. Not at all. Not at all. Get here early. You get a spot. When we max out the line, then I'm going to bump up the size of the room. So that's all there is to it. I want y'all to help me break the 50 seat room. I want to have a 50 seat room, and or 50 seat room. I want to get up to a 100 seat room. I want to break that. So share this. Make sure other people know about this. If you see value, if you don't see value, that's going to be my clue that I'm not giving enough value, and I need to up my game. And also get into the suggestion box. Make sure you get out there. If you go out to the Power Hour webpage, it's posted on our group chat. You can get out there and submit suggestions or feedback or things that you'd like to see. But that's ultimately what this is for. It's for a place for new people that have gotten started, and it's a place where they can come and ask questions. That's what it's ultimately for. I want your skills to be able to increase. So first off, like we do every time, I want to open it up for, not every time, we didn't do it last time, but for the most part, we open it up for questions right away. I obviously have a whole bunch of things that I can chat about, but man, I can do that walking down the street with somebody. So I'll come up with something to talk about. But you guys start off and let me know what it is that you need to know. You guys got here, you're on live. So ask the questions, and don't do it just for you. Do it for the people that you know that these questions that you've been thinking about. You might feel a little awkward getting out there and asking those questions. Ask them, because somebody else is going to want to know them. The other thing that I always ask, as we are just about to flip over into 2 pages here, is if you are at a spot that you can, please turn your video on. What that does is it helps everybody in here to know that there's another person behind that box. It's a personal business. And it's weird sometimes. It's a lot easier to hide in this business. It really is. It's easy to come to Power Hour. It's easy to get these skills. And it's easy to take all of that, stick it in your back pocket, look at all the people that you want to say this to, and not open your mouth. It's very easy to do that. It's easy to justify it. It's easy to come up with excuses. And so for a lot of people, it's weird to be seen by others. And that is a purpose that I have, is I want everybody to show your face. I want people to see you. I want you to be in the middle of it. I want it, if it's uncomfortable for you, I want it to be uncomfortable. It's a lot easier to be uncomfortable when you're at practice than it is being uncomfortable in the big game. And this is practice. This isn't the big game. You're not out there talking to somebody right now. So if you don't mind, if you are clothed and proper, turn that video on if you have the means to do that. I know some people don't have a camera on their phone. They are on their, I know you have it on your phone, but you might not have it on your laptop, things like that. Looks like British Columbia's got a whole stack of people there. I see Colton. I see Kate running around. So good to see you guys there in Canada. Who else we got on that's jumped on? We've got Beverly. Good to see you. We got Sarah, Linda, Mr. Rob Slagle, Eddie Blackmail's on, Mr. Kyle in San Diego, Sherry in that beautiful new car. I got to sit in her car today. It was so awesome. It is one amazing vehicle. I highly recommend, if you have the means, I highly recommend picking one up. Some of y'all don't know what movie that's from. I'm not going to tell you either. All right, we got Jackson, we got Ashley, we got Garrett, we got Tracy's on. Carmen, good to see you, sir. We got LG K20 Plus, welcome. Jam iPhones here too. All right, who we got on the next page? And we got an 806 number. Fantastic. All right. So let's open it up for questions first off. Who's got questions? I want to do some case studies. I want you guys to, hey, this is what I did today. They didn't get on the phone. They didn't reply back to me. What could I have done differently? I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I just got started. I'm not sure what my first step is. Things like that. What do we got here? Somebody's got to have a question. I know we don't have all double black diamonds on here just yet, so I know everybody's going to get there. But
hey, Casey.
Velma, how are you doing?
Good. I have a question. Actually, I've been meaning to ask, for the last times I've seen you on here. But, if you sign up a new person, you get a new business partner, how soon do you think that you should, have them start working on personal development?
Probably about 13 seconds after they join.
Okay, like right away?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. You know, it's a trade-off. But in all honesty, seriously, as quick as possible, absolutely as quick as
Okay.
possible. You need to make that be a part of, if that's not something they're already doing, you need to get them there. You know, one of the things and I'll say it, I haven't had a chat directly with Colton, but I bet you a whole bunch of money that he does quite a bit of personal development. I'd be completely amazed if I was wrong on that. The types of questions that he asks, the things that he's looking for, he's doing personal development. I can just
Yes.
tell when I work with somebody. I can also tell sometimes when people are not doing it. So absolutely, that's the only thing. I think I said it last week. The only thing that makes you different between now and 5 years from now is the people that you meet, the seminars you go to, and the books you read, and that's all personal development that you're going to get. So yeah, absolutely. And here's another thing. This was interesting. One of the guys that got on Friday, I guess it was Saturday, for the training conference that we were at. He's the guy that actually coached Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Dwayne Wade, his own personal coach. I mean, he is in their head. He is getting them where they need to be, legends in NBA basketball. And he talks about it. He talks about, you know, you got to, this is it. You got to sharpen this thing, you know, constantly sharpen it. But on the flip side, you also need to get out there and make something happen. Some people get really comfortable. And they've got a huge library. You know, I have a huge library. I'm proud of that library, but I'm most proud about the fact that I actually put it into action. I've met a lot of other people that have a bigger library, and I'm crushing them. And the reason I'm crushing them is I'm actually taking action on what I'm learning. So again, it's not about knowledge is power. That's not it. It's the application of that knowledge that's the power. So yes, absolutely do the personal development and put it into action.
Okay.
Very good question. I love it. All right. Let's keep them going, folks. What do we got for other questions? Give me some, Ava, you got a question? Go right ahead. Let me see if I can unmute you here.
A rough day with two gentlemen that I called. And one of them, absolutely, she said, no way. I know it's a pyramid scheme. And he was kind of rude and she started asking questions because we were texting each other. And it got to the point that I was dumbfounded. I didn't know what to say. Yep. So all I could think of is, thank you very much. And the other one, he keeps saying, no, not at this time. I don't have the time because I'm going to night school. So what, I mean, did I do wrong? What?
I got about 6 different things I want to say. So we'll just we'll take a couple of them right off the bat. So first is I want to ask a question. The second guy, what did you show him that he said, no, not at this time? What was the progress?
I sent him. Okay. I texted him and see if he was interested. And he said, yeah, go ahead and send it to me. And I sent the teamfusionfamily.com.
Did you put him on the phone with anybody before you did that?
No.
That's that you asked, what did I do wrong? I'm not going to say that it's right or wrong. I am a huge fan of not doing it that way. I'm a huge fan of doing an inoculation talk with them first. And the reason is he has it in his head. Did you do the same thing with the first person? Similar?
No, I had seen him once before, and I asked him and said if he would be interested in some extra income that I could send some information to him. And because he's a manager, he was busy. So I left and I said, okay, I said, I'll go ahead and text you that information. Yep. And I texted him that today. And I texted him, I said, were you able to look at the information that I sent to you? And he said, no. I said, go ahead and resend it to me. And I did. And he texted me back. He says, yes. I said, I saw it. He said, I'm not interested. I said, I don't have time. I said, I've got this, the regular hours of work, 40 hours. But he's also going to night school.
Yeah. So he gave you all sorts of great, stupid excuses that had absolutely jack crap to deal with what we're actually.
Well, the first one is the one that was kind of rude, you know.
How do you know these guys? Are these cold market, or these warm market, or these hot market? What's your relationship?
The first one, I made him at Memorial City.
So cold market?
He sells a cold market. And then the second one, I had a friend that knew him, and he is manager of a storage company.
So still cold market to you?
Cold market, both of them.
Yep. So lots of good stuff there. And first off, great job on getting out there and giving it a shot. That's first thing. If you don't do that, you don't have a prayer, a chance of anybody joining your business. That's the first thing. So well done. You got after it. You put it out there. They started shooting back, and this one didn't work out. Mediocrity won on this round, or both of those. Here's why I think it happened. And I'm going to throw this out there. You see if this fits in your head, and everybody else too. Has anybody else experienced what Ava has experienced? Raise your hand. Awesome. You see everybody's hand go up there, Ava? Good. All right. So everybody's gone through this. So let me break this down a couple of things. First thing you did you build rapport with them?
Well, for the first one, yeah, because I had met him in Memorial City.
What did he want? What drove him? What was the thing that he wanted to achieve on this planet?
Well, I thought at first that he wanted that extra income.
Okay. Did he say that?
It kind of that I thought in kind of a roundabout way.
So you're not 100% sure?
No.
Okay. That would be the first thing.
Okay.
Each of these steps, and I can't thank you enough for sharing this. This is going to help you, and it's going to help everybody on this call. And this is what I want to get into. I want to do more of these. I want y'all to bring, the painful ones, man, the ones that stung. You still feel that hand across the face. I want because those are the ones that I want to be able to teach you off of. That's where you learn. You don't learn just watching a whiteboard. You learn when you're in there mixing it up with the other person. That's where you learn. That's getting in the game. That's being on the court, So that's why I congratulated you in the beginning for getting out there and doing it. Because most people, I'll be honest with you, most people come into this business and they don't ever once get on the court.
It's hard. It
is. But what happened prior to that, before I get into these steps, is I talk about this often. And if you're writing in your notes, you got step A, step B, and then steps 1, 2, and 3 after this. Step A is you got a why. And that why of yours, Ava, is enough that got you out of the seats and got you down on the court to open your mouth and say something to this guy. Now, did it hurt bad enough that you're never going to talk to another person?
Well, I felt that way today until I started talking to myself. You got up, you told him, and, the reason I kind of backed off is because I didn't know how to answer when he told me, no, I know this is nothing but a pyramid skin and blah, blah, blah. He went on and on.
After it was all said and done, after you licked your wounds and you got up off the mat and dusted yourself off and got in the car and went on about your way, did you say, that's it, I'm done with Kyani, or are you going to get back out there?
No, I'm going to get back on it.
Don't laugh. Yeah. 50+% of people ain't going to get back up.
Yeah.
That's why step A is so important for everybody that's brand new, because you don't like with what happened.
Right.
It hurt. It stung. I don't care what we say. We don't like that. That is not a pleasant experience. And everybody that raised their hand had a little shudder. They remembered that. You lived it. You smelt it. You felt where you were. You relived it, and it was not pleasant. It's that little pit in your stomach, like, that sucked. Yeah. So all been there. All have been there. The difference between you and the people that are losers in the rest of their life, and I mean that straight up, hope that doesn't offend anybody. If it does, they'll get over it. They'll be used to it, is you have a why. That's why you're asking. That's why you're plugged in the power hour and you're making it happen. You have why in step A figured out. Your why is greater than that idiot that doesn't have a clue giving you a bunch of nonsense. When he was talking, he wasn't talking to you, by the way, just so you know. He was talking to himself.
Yeah.
He had no idea who you were. He had no idea. He came out and you saw a shift in somebody, and it wasn't them. It was their subconscious took over. You ever drive down the road, Ava, and then all of a sudden you end up at your destination. You're not quite sure how the last 15 minutes went down, or if you ran over anybody, ran through a stop sign or a stoplight. that ever
Oh,
happened to you?
yes. Oh, yes.
Who was driving the car at that time? It wasn't you. It was your subconscious. It took over. His subconscious took over in that situation. That's all that happened. It's like he had an out-of-body experience. You know, he just switched faces and he turned into some freaky, crazy guy. And what he was talking about was raw emotion for a time that he was involved or knew somebody that was involved in network marketing. And he is equating the experience overrode what the stimulus was going in these ears of his. And when he started talking, he wasn't saying no to you. He was saying no to the previous experience and how he didn't like that.
Just he asked me, and I said, is this a pyramid? And I said, no. I said, I don't even know what it is. I said, what about you? What experience did you have? And of course, he didn't answer me. All he said, no, it just sucks, and I don't want any part of it. So,
cool. Yeah. So he burned his hand on the stove when he was younger, and he's never going to cook, spaghetti ever again. And he's going to miss out on spaghetti for the rest of his life. So here's what I want you to do. Light a candle, say a prayer, do whatever it is you do for him, and move on. And let that be the fight. Let that be the fire that lights you up, that you're going to keep coming to this and get better and better and better. For somebody like that, you did the right step, by the way. You said, well, tell me about your experience. He didn't want to. The only thing that I hear out of your chat with him that could have been better is dig in a little bit more on the rapport side.
On the rapport, okay.
Yeah. Now, I will say this, from everything I've heard, wasn't there, didn't see it, but everything I'm hearing what you say and knowing who you are, and we've hung out quite a bit, I can pretty much say that guy was a lost cause. What does he do for a living? Where was he working?
He sells those little machines that give you little shocks, like on the paint, and warm those jelly warmers that go around your neck. You put them in either in the microwave or hot water, and it warms you.
Like at the massage stores and things.
Gotcha. And then the little machine that gives you the little shocks.
Show of hands, does anybody use those things? They're real hard, and then you heat them up in hot water, and then they get real good, and you can put them. Anybody use those? You realize if that guy would have said yes to her, y'all wouldn't be able to get those things. So thank his dumb ass that he wouldn't even listen, because somebody's got to make those things. Somebody's got to say, where do I go and buy those if that jackass isn't going to be there to sell them for us? Somebody's got to make that for us. Let him be that guy that does that. This business is not about convincing those people. This business is about finding the people that want something more. I have no problem with him. Here's the deal. I'm calling him a jackass because he wouldn't even look. That's why I'm not calling him a jackass, because that's what he's doing for a living. God bless him for doing it. And I mean that. Somebody's got to make that stuff. I'm calling him a dumbass because he wouldn't look. He let his emotions get to him to a point where he is passing over an opportunity. That's just stupid. I don't care how you want to slice that up. That's dumb. So let that be the case. Hopefully one day, the fact that you handled yourself in a professional manner and got out of the situation allows him to one day have something happen up here. Maybe he reads a book. Maybe he accidentally listens to a radio station that has a seminar on it, because he's probably not out getting much personal development, because people that are getting personal development don't act that way. I can guarantee he doesn't have any money in his bank account, because people that are that way don't have any money in their bank account. That's just a given. So that's on him. It sucks. As another human being, I want him to be successful, but he ain't going to be. Not with that mindset. Your job is to sort those people, and you sorted him. You put him in the no bucket. How bad would it be if you got that guy to join? How much fun do you think it would be to work with somebody like that?
No, after what he said, no. No.
So good. It's good. It's good. We sorted him out. That's somebody. That's like Edison figuring out we do not make light bulbs that way. You are one step. Now you are absolutely physically 100% mathematically closer to somebody that you're looking for. That's how you have to go through this. You are going to go through those people that do not get it. He is what's called a laggard. He will be the last if he ever even gets it. Did he have a cell phone? Has he figured out cell phones yet, or is he still talking trash about cell phones too?
No, he hasn't had a cell phone.
Okay, so he's got a chance. There is hope for this man. All right?
Yeah.
So that's the thing, Now, again, the only thing I can go back on is if you can build rapport, and with this guy, you weren't gonna build rapport with him. So it was fine. You gave a shot at it. But the one thing that I would say in that situation is do your darndest to build the rapport so that you could dig in. He was closed off to even sharing that with you because he was not comfortable enough to share that with you. Now, maybe he's closed-minded to the point he would never share that, and you could never get that close, and that's okay too. You go as long as you feel comfortable in doing that. But the thing that I will tell everybody is it is a balance on knowing when to peak and knowing when to continue to build rapport. Okay? And so build that rapport until they give you that personal thing. When they give you that personal thing, that's really personal. He said he wanted to make more money. Whoop-de-doo. That doesn't mean nothing to me. What are you going to do with it? Let's find out what that money means to you. Money is just a thing that we exchange to make other things happen. That ain't a big deal. And if you just want a whole bunch of money, you're really not who I'm looking for. So find out what it is that he wanted. And if you can find out what that is, and he shares that with you, then when he has that stupid reaction, you can get him back out of his subconscious and get him back conscious with you and say, whoa, dang, son, what happened to you? And that's going to interrupt that flow that he's in, that going into the subconscious and having that reaction. It's going to hopefully get him to a point where he's aware of what's going on. And if you can get him there, you might be able to have a breakthrough with another human being. Or you might not, and he ain't ready. And if he ain't, and we move on. So
when you're doing a report with somebody, how fast do you ask them for the phone number? Do you just let it go the first time and then go?
Every time is different. Every single time is different. And that's why I can't tell you if it's a number of sentences, number of syllables, or anything. The best that I can give you, and this is something that it's, I can tell you this, it is when they give you something deeply personal.
Oh, okay.
That's the best that I can give you on the trigger mechanism that says we are done with step 1 and it is now time for step 2. Step 1 being build rapport. Step 2 being pique their interest. You try to pique his interest by saying, do you keep your options open to earn an additional income or something along those lines? Mm-hmm. You had a thought that he wanted more money. One of the things that we do is we assume that the person that we're chatting with wants the same thing that we want before we actually know. When we assume, we're going to assume that they are like we are. Mm-hmm. Not saying he's not, just saying it shouldn't be an assumption. It should be, hey, what I'm hearing you say is you really want to make a lot of money. Did I get that right? Yeah, you damn right you did. What you got? That's what we're looking for. So if you push too quick, and we are all for the people that send me text messages and say, hey, what would you have done different here? We are getting straight to the information. We are trying to send them that information as quick as possible. The information does not get to them until step 4. You don't own step 4. Your job is not to send these people information on the business side. Let me be clear, on the business side. And this was going down the business path. And you were going to send him. That's the next thing. You sent him Team Fusion Family. Now, before you can even send it, and talking about the other person too, you sent them the information before they were inoculated. Because so many people have been out there and have had an exposure to network marketing. They have a bad taste in their mouth potentially. We have to find out about that. And then we have to fix that. You don't fix that. Your upline leader fixes that. Your upline leader does that inoculation talk. We go through and knock out 4 or 5 objections right up front. He made up a bunch of nonsense that he's all busy working 40 hours a week. Dude, give me a break. There's 168 hours a week. What the hell are you doing with the rest of your time? You ain't making money, that's for damn sure. Mm-hmm. So what you need to, so when we're talking to, when the leader gets put on to do the inoculation, that's not what you do. You edify somebody. You get your leader. You get Alex and Jennifer Lee. Let Alex at that dude. Alex would chew him up, spit him out, and have dessert, man. So you need to get him to a point where he'll look. Now, if he won't even talk to Alex, he ain't somebody you need on your team. That's another way to sort him out. We are not looking for everybody. It's just not the way it is. You want the people that are pre-wired for success. You want the people that were like you. You want the people that had the red pill. You want it out of the mess. That guy doesn't want out of the mess. He's sitting on the porch, whining and yelping, sitting on that nail, but he ain't getting up off the nail. He won't even look to see what would be around the corner to get up off the nail. He's just going to sit there and howl about it. And then he's going to take something in his past, good chance that was 4+ years ago, and sit there and bring that up and continue to keep himself on the porch. Keep making me those little warmer things for my neck. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great. That helps a great deal. Thanks.
All right, good. You're welcome. Does that help anybody else? Give me a thumbs up if that helped. Sweet. Good. All right. Great. Love it. Just meet you out there. We got some questions that spawned off of that. Let me jump on the chat channel. I got everybody fired up. All right. Kill them. Oh, kill them with kindness. Got it. What should we do if we got something personal and we didn't jump on that opportunity? Just pick up where you left off. Also ask what use the product after the buy it. Also ask what use the product after. I don't get the second part of that, Jamie, but let me answer the first one, see if the second one clicks on. So the question is, what should we do if we got something personal and we didn't jump on that opportunity? It came up and went on by and we just kept on building that rapport. What I do a lot of times is I'll come back and I'll engineer a way to get back in front of that person. I'll weasel my way back with them or make something happen where I got to chat with them or go back in the store and say, and these are the words, I don't know why I didn't think about this just a second ago, yesterday, 2 weeks ago, last month, last year when we last talked. But you mentioned, remind them on what it was we talked about. I remember you telling me about the fact that you wanted to be able to get your kids to college. Let me ask you, were you serious about that? Or were you just joking around? That is a powerful, powerful, powerful statement. And then see what they say. And you might have to dig back in there. If they catch on, they remember it right away. It's on the front of their mind. They're thinking about college a lot. And if they've got college to take care of, they're thinking about it a lot. Then hit that hard. That's an emotional thing with them. They want to fix that. I want to fix that. Why? Why do you ask? What do you got? Those are the type of questions that will come at you. I don't know why I didn't think about this, but I need to get you in touch with somebody that can explain some pretty neat things I'm a part of. Well, what is it? What is it, a company? Yeah, it is. Well, can you tell me about it? No, I'll screw it up if I try to explain it. Now they're just ready to hit you because they're curious. You came back, but you're not giving them anything. Some of y'all are giving it away too quick. I mean, it's like Christmas, and it's 3 days before Christmas, and you're telling everybody what they got that's wrapped up in the box, man. Come on. Make it fun for them. Keep the surprise. Keep the secret. Don't ruin the movie for them. Some of y'all walk around through the theater telling everybody that Han Solo dies, man. That's just not cool. They haven't seen the movie yet. So what you want to do is you want to make that mystery still be there. You want that curiosity to be there. And don't give in. Have some posture here. Have some fun with it. And then after that, then you can say, let me get you on with somebody. You just get right back. You pick up right where you left off. It's just like it was a really long pause. Okay. Carmen, you got a question. What you got? See if I can unmute you there, Carmen. Let's try it now.
I do.
Hey.
I've only been with County for a couple months, and so it's probably something that's out there. I'm just haven't really found where to find it. But so I have a client who just became a customer, and she really likes the product and everything. She just ordered this weekend, a couple days ago. And she already put something out on her Facebook page. She did this whole thing and put all this stuff, talked about the product, how much she loved it. She should probably be selling it, but she is.
It looks like I'm lagging out.
Is there a way that those customers can go back under her?
I broke up a little bit there. I was having an internet issue, but I was hearing that you have somebody that's very interested in the product. They should probably sell it. And then I lost connection there. Tell me the rest of it from there.
So, so she's out there advertising it on her Facebook
Yeah,
page,
I
and
got
was
that.
putting my website link out there for
Beautiful.
her friends and people.
Bless her. Yeah.
So I mentioned to her, talking about selling it and whatever. But
Okay. So what happens now if they've signed up underneath you? She comes back in later as a distributor.
Right. Then can I get those people back under her as her
Yeah.
customer?
Yeah. What would happen is you would have her stop if they happen to be on auto ship with you. Say customer A is with you as auto ship. Then what you would do is have them cancel that, and then you would have them enroll as a customer the next month underneath your friend, and have those transferred underneath them. The only thing that you're going to miss out on that is the upfront retail commission. But you get all sorts of benefits out of that. Plus, you got somebody that's building the business, and that's what you want anyway. So, yeah, that works out.
I want her to be able to get credit for it, but I didn't. So I was like, oh, if she starts putting it out there and people start signing up, I'm like, oh gosh. And if she decides to do it, I didn't want her to not be able to get credit.
Yeah, absolutely be able to switch them over without a doubt. And every single one that signs up is your trigger. And so this is something for everybody. We talk about when we go through these steps, and we've got, what's your why, what's your list, that's step A and B. And then 1, 2, and 3 is we build rapport, we pique interest, we edify the leader, and pass the ball. And then after that, they get a presentation, and then we do the follow-up. And we go in this cycle of presentation, follow-up, presentation, follow-up, presentation, follow-up. The follow-up trigger at that point is every single customer that comes to your website and orders. And then you call her up and say, hey, got another one. Hey, week later, got another one. Hey, got a week later. I don't know why I keep making all this money. You should be making this money instead of me. You decide when you're ready. But thank you.
Right. Okay.
And then you do what they want to do. That's the other thing. Some people get almost belligerent about that. Hey, if they don't want the money, thank you. Take it.
Yeah.
Buy them something nice for Christmas. So
exactly.
Yeah. Good question though. Very good question.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. More questions on the chat channel. Hey, Jamie, unmute yourself. Ask me that second part. I didn't catch the second part. Also ask what use the product after they buy it. I didn't get that.
Sorry, I messed it up.
No worries.
If someone buys the product, but they don't use it, so when I'm following up and I'm saying, how are you liking it? And they're like, oh, I don't really use it. Just
I'm going to struggle. I'm going to struggle for not using colorful language to them. I'll be honest with you. You can tell them, say, look, I really appreciate you being my customer. I appreciate you sending money to Kyani, and it's going to a great cause, I assure you. But this stuff works a heck of a lot better if you actually take it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But after that, I mean, what do you do? Short of going over there and holding them down and squeezing the sunrise in their mouth. See if you can find out what the holdup is too. See if you can. There's something emotional going on in their mind there. See if you can figure out what that is. Ask some questions, like, and don't do it from a us versus them. Get on that same side of the table with them. Any objection, and that's an objection. She's got an objection right now. There is something that is not kosher in her head. Find out what that is, and see if you can knock that down. That what we do is we are trying to transact with people. We are trying to offer them something, and we're hoping to find somebody that wants what it is that we're offering, whether that's, being a customer, being a business partner, health, wealth, beauty, time, whatever it is. We're trying to fill a need in their life. And if they have that need and then something supersedes that, you're still there. Your job is to fulfill that need. You know about the need. You just know there's a secondary hole somewhere. And it's worth finding that out. These people are exchanging with you. They're transacting with you. See if you can figure that out. And one of the things that can happen is you can build a tighter relationship. You'll build more rapport. They know that you're interested in them, and you can do that. And for one, it's just a good thing to do. Even if it's somebody you don't know. I mean, you're on the elevator with somebody and they're having a bad day, and you can tell, and they're crying. Man, reach over there and give them a freaking hug. What the hell? That could be the thing that, changes their entire life. Is it awkward? You damn right it is. For one, you're on an elevator, so that makes it weird. And two, you don't know this person. That could be the thing they needed, So find out what it is. Go with your gut. We overthink everything, by the way. That was another thing I learned this weekend. We sit there and we analyze the crap out of everything. You know, we know what we need to do. Just go do it. And here's the deal. The reason we do that, we don't like being wrong. And since we don't like being wrong and we were educated that way, that's the wrong answer. You got an X, you only made an 89. You're not a good kid, you know, because that's how we train our children. It's stuck. Guess what? You are a direct reflection of that. So yeah, you know what? See if you can find out what's going on with them. See if you can figure that out and see if you can help plug that. If not, say, hey, thanks for getting it. You want to give that back? I'll hand it to somebody that actually use it.
Okay. I do have another question. I just thought of. I have put some people on the Wellness Simplified, and I have one girl that has been tagging other people in it.
Cool.
And then someone she asked me if she could ask questions on the Wellness Simplified. Can they do that?
We don't want them getting into it right there. Just say, I'll PM you. I'll private message you.
Okay.
That's the way that you do that. And if you guys do see something, get with your upline diamond and let them know, like, hey, somebody went off their rocker on Wellness Simplified. That will happen. You got a lot of baggage because they're human beings. Somebody gets in here, somebody didn't build rapport enough, and you get somebody like Ava was talking about that gets added into a Wellness Simplified, and they decide they're going to save the world and make a complete ass of themselves in the meantime, and then you got drama, and we don't do drama. So that's a real good thing to be able to do, is police that, make sure that somebody's not being an idiot. But yeah, I do not have a problem people getting in there and seeing what's going on. And if they do have questions, don't get into a dissertation with them right there. Have that off to the side and call them up if you can, and go from there. If you feel comfortable answering the things that you have heard with other stories, do that. And then if it starts getting into anything more than that, pass the ball to your upline leader, your proof, so that person can answer. It doesn't matter if you can. It matters that they see that the system is such that they don't have to know all these answers.
Okay.
Cool. All right. Next up, I had this issue, and customer service said that customer can call and switch by calling them with the new distributor number. They don't need to sign again and get a new Prime membership. Oh, very nice. Excellent, Beverly. Thank you for sharing that. Read that out just so people that haven't looked at the group chat. It was asking about a customer that signed up underneath somebody and then went elsewhere underneath you, and then you want to be able to share them somewhere else. Then just call up customer service and have them switch that over, and they'll do that. All right. Very good. Okay. Other questions? Let's keep these going. These are awesome. Anybody got any other questions they want to ask?
I do have one, Casey.
Yes.
I have a client who I've given her some samples, and she is taking it, and she really liked it and everything, but she's breastfeeding. And so she wasn't sure about the nitro, because I knew with the nitro, Rocky had said, that would be the one thing if you are pregnant and haven't been taking it yet, you probably shouldn't. And so I was wondering on the breastfeeding if it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah, the main reason for the nitro, and there's many people that have taken it. In fact, there's a grandmother on here whose granddaughter was absolutely going through the situation that the mother was taking it, no issues. So, but I will say I'm not a doctor on that part. And I don't have personal that I can say, my wife was taking nitro when she was breastfeeding. She was taking the Sunrise and was taking the Sunset. She was not taking the nitro. During pregnancy, the main reason for that is it's a vasodilator. And that's why people suggest that. Been a lot of people that take it and no issues, but that's not science right there. That is conjecture. Right. On my side. So I don't have anything that would be able to say on that side, and everybody's super cautious on that. Probably overly cautious, to be honest with you, just my thoughts.
Right.
But yeah, I wouldn't tell somebody, yeah, absolutely no problem. For the other ones, absolutely no problem. But for that one, I would not say that to somebody personally.
Okay. That's what I was thinking, but I just wanted to check and see, because she asked me again before she ordered. So I was like, breastfeeding probably wouldn't be as.
Yeah, it's for a different reason at that point, so.
Right. Yeah. Because you can give the kid, children the sunrise or the sunset if they can take the pill.
Yep.
So, okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Good questions. Good questions. All right. Another question popped up here. Doing a home meeting tomorrow. Do I have product samples for them to taste and try? Absolutely on that, Kyle. I'm a big fan of having them there and having everybody try it. That's me. I do that every PBR that I have. I make sure I've got some Sunrise in the refrigerator. And when we're done with the meeting or before the meeting, depending on how it goes, I will absolutely bring those out and hand one to everybody. I'll rip it. I'll sip mine and then see what they do. I don't say a word. I just see what happens. And most of them say, all right, bottoms up. That's just what they do. That's why it's so easy at a living room. You come out with a bottle of tequila and you set out a whole bunch of shot glasses. A lot of times they're going to do that too. They ain't going to ask questions. So if they start to, what type is this? Is this 7 year? Is this 9 year? They start asking questions. So, and they say, well, I'm going to get into it later, but yeah, if you want to try one, go for it. Some people that's not their thing. Completely cool. Your goal when you do that is you want them to be able to taste how awesome the product is. And that's one of the huge selling points, especially with the Sunrise. Now, they might take it and they might hate blueberries. You're rolling the dice, but I come across that so few times that I don't even worry about it. And here's the deal. We're not trying to hide it from them. If they don't like it, they ain't going to do it. Might as well find out now and send them home, save their evening. No, I'm joking about that last part. They'll stick around, and then you can even. I told this to a guy I work for. I said, "Look, hey, you don't like it. It's not your thing. That's cool. Doesn't mean everybody else isn't. Same feel for blueberries. I know people that this would benefit tremendously. Let's get it to your son. Let's get it to your nephew. Things like that. So I absolutely have the product there. I want them to see it. I want them to see how simple it is. I want them to taste it and go from there. So I absolutely do that. So, and awesome on having your get together, man. I'm pumped for that. Who's working with you on that? Is Kathy, or let me unmute you here. Go ahead, Kyle.
David is.
David, excellent. It's David Daniel. Yeah, you got a rock star right there, man. That's awesome. Well done.
Thank you.
Yeah, excellent. That's wonderful. Good deal. All right, how many people you got looking like they might be coming?
6 right now.
Ooh, nice work. Well done. Is this your first one, right?
It is.
Man, I'm proud of you. That's awesome. I'm gonna go ahead and give you a flu shot too, just so you know. 3 of those people are lying to you. They're not showing up. Just so you know.
I know.
I'll make sure somebody had that chat with you, because that's what happens, man. People get we got 15 people, and like 6 show up, and they're like, somebody didn't tell them it's gonna happen. That that's gonna happen to them. So. No, that's wonderful, Kyle. Congratulations and good luck on that.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Very good. All right. Next up, you mentioned putting the Sunrise in the refrigerator. Does the product taste better that way, or is there other health benefits from putting it in the fridge? It's not a health benefit. It is purely a taste perspective. I don't know if you drink soft drinks, but I think everybody likes soft drinks better cold, and it's kind of the same thing with the Sunrise. That's all it is. It's not it makes no difference on that stuff. You got to make sure it's not like in 120-degree heat. But other than that, you can absolutely have it warm. But I definitely prefer it, and I'd say probably the vast majority of people do have a preference for it being cooler than warmer. And that's all it is a taste.
Okay.
All right. Very good.
Casey, I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Hi. I have been... So I've been talking to this girl. Actually, I haven't talked to a friend of mine for, off and on, maybe every 3 months, 4 months over the last year. Mm-hmm. But a year ago, I was talking to her about what I was doing, and she said, oh, yeah, my husband, she can't do it because of her position. she said, oh yeah, my husband could do that. But I did not know what I was doing at the time. So I never got a commitment on an appointment to sit with them or anything. Well, now we chat, just briefly. Hey, how are you doing? Every now and then, if I run into her, if I see her, I'll send her a message, but never, she's never been my best friend, not somebody I hang out. How do I go back to her and say, hey, remember that thing your husband said, or you said your husband could do? I'm struggling with words here.
Why are you struggling with that? Because that was one heck of an introduction. That's exactly how I would do it, to be honest with you. I'd say, literally, I would say, hey, you remember that thing that I was talking to your husband about? Yeah, well, it's blowing up. I'm an Emerald. An average Emerald makes $7,400 a month in this business. My daughter and son-in-law are millionaire earners. He just bought a Lamborghini. You want to take another look at this? That's how I go about it.
Good enough.
Yeah, that's exactly how I go about it.
Overthink everything.
Yeah, no, that's okay though. But that typically there's something else there,
Yes.
But yeah, you honestly nailed it right there. It's that overthink on what about this, what about that.
Okay.
Put that to the side. Be cognizant, be aware of what's going on. But I think I can say this unequivocally: 99% of you are overthinking. Be aware. Don't go in just crazy guy with saying stuff and not being aware of the situation on what they're dealing with. So be. Okay. I'm not going to say sensitive. That's not awareness. That's the word. Just be aware of what's going on and think about that. But once that's done, stop thinking and go for it. Absolutely go for it.
But when I say, do you want to take a look at this? I'm really not wanting them to take a look at anything. I'm wanting to get them on the phone with. Yeah,
you just want to say, do you still have some interest in this? You want to find if there is still interest. You want to find what they want. I had this chat with somebody else. I think it was Jason. We were chatting when I was in Vegas, or it might have been Jesse. I don't remember which. Actually, it was Jesse. Jason and I also chatted too on text, but it was Jesse that asked this question. And basically, it came down to that pitch, that too early on the pitch. You want to find out what they still want. Maybe they hit the lottery, and that's why they haven't done anything. So that might not be their thing. You might have been pushing it from that perspective, and that didn't blow their hair back. He's
never seen it. They don't know anything about it, really.
So since they haven't, when you're asking these questions, your intent, the goal, because I can never tell you exactly what question to ask. I can give you a couple to start with. I might be able to get you to say, it's like a football game. They know like the first 3 plays. After that, they don't know what they're going to do. They're just going to react to the situation. And same thing with it. I can give you the first, maybe second play, but after that, you just go with it. The intent, though, that's the thing that grounds you. That's the thing where I tell people, I don't care how you do this. I honestly don't. Except there are key things that you got to hit. Those are the main milestones in this process. You got to hit those. If you don't hit those, can you get somebody in? Without a doubt. You can get lucky. And it is luck. It will not duplicate. Promise. It won't. So you got to hit those things. Now, how you do that? That doesn't matter. It really, really doesn't. You hear all these new ideas and all these same, it's all the same stuff. It's all the same key things. Maybe we rearrange a little bit here. It's just different words, different language, different actors that are doing it. It's all the same movie. So that's the main thing that you want to be able to hit is what do they want? That's first step for everybody. What do they want? What does the prospect want out of this thing? The next step is see if you can pique their interest based on the new information that you've got. See if there is a connection between what it is they want and what we've got, the different things that we offer through Kyani. If those things hook together, rock and roll. If they do not hook together, cool. I was sitting there having dinner with a guy. He does not have an interest in what we do. It's not blowing his hair back. Will we get him there? There's a good chance that we'll keep dripping on him, and he eventually will. But right now, he ain't interested. I'm not going to sit there and try to convince him otherwise. Cool, we're not hooking together. So if you find out what they want, and that's what you're going to do when you re-engage them, go back to that first step. You think you know what it is, and so you're building rapport by the fact that you're asking them a question about something that you think they want. That's why it's so good. Hey, if you could earn additional income, or you could earn additional health, or you could have better wealth, or you could have better beauty, or you could have more time, which one of those would you do? You're asking them a question. You're interested in them. That's building rapport. And as soon as you get that, they give you something personal, you can immediately go in and try to pique their interest with it. If I could show you a way to accomplish what you just said you wanted, would you be interested in taking a look at something? You're trying to pique their interest with something that they want to know about. Now, that's kind of a simplistic way of doing it. That's a good thing sometimes. Sometimes you got to have a little bit more there so that they're not feeling like they're trapped in some silly game that you're playing. But find out what they want. That's the first step. And see if what they truly want is something that they feel that we might be able to get them there and you can pique their interest. If so, edify a leader and get the leader to inoculate them so that we can then get them into the information. That it's always going to be those same big steps there.
Okay. Thank you.
You're very welcome. That is an excellent question. And then back on the Sunrise question, the bottle does say to refrigerate it after you open. If you're getting the Sunrise bottle, if you're doing the pouches, then it doesn't matter. I mean, if you open the pouch, drink it. But other than that, that's about it there. Okay. Man, you guys teleported me again 60 minutes later. I wanted to share about the Wealth Summit. If you all have not seen that, I'm going to forward something I got on a different channel and get that over into this chat channel, because I know we got people all over the U.S. and Canada. If you know anybody in Chicago, if you know anybody in Dallas, if you know anybody in Houston, and somebody help me out on the fourth city. Was it Karen? You see
Salt Lake?
Salt Lake. Cool. Whatever that fourth city, I think it was. So if you know anybody in those four cities over the next couple of days, I think starting on the 1st, you'll see it. I'm going to post it on the thing, and it'll give you the 4 different cities that it's in and the times and all that good stuff. But we've got double red diamond Mr. James Bradford is going to be in those 4 different cities, and Mr. Mark Davenport. Now, if you're brand new and you're like, I don't know who these people are, why do I care? James Bradford is a double red diamond in our organization. He is the head of Team Fusion, and he has made over $6 million. Now, that's not $6 million in sales of Kyani products. That's $6 million cash dollars that have showed up in his bank account. And he's been doing this for just over, I think, 3 years, coming up on 4 years, probably 3.5 years, I'd say. So he's going to be in town, and he's also going to have the gentleman that has made over 150 cash millionaires out of other people. Okay? He is a hectamillionaire, meaning it's in the hundreds of millions. All right? So he's from Dubai. He's the guy that actually started Team Fusion. He's the brainchild behind the whole thing. If he hadn't called Scott Mulch in Frisco, Texas, north of Houston, Dallas, north of Houston too, for all y'all that want to be sticklers on geography. If he hadn't done what he had done, we would not be here chatting together, plain and simple. So this guy, he's a beast. He is an absolute beast. So the format that's going to happen in the other 3 cities is there's going to be a DFY. There's going to be a big presentation. They're going to call it a Wealth Summit. I don't know what the slideshow is going to be. I don't know all the details, how they're going to run it or any of those things. I just know that they're going to have one. The times are posted. Guests are free. I think the cost is like $10. If you go out to teamfusionfamily.com and you go to events, you'll see all the details. For the Houston market, we're doing a little different. And that's mainly because I'm leading the Houston market and I don't want to do DFYs. So honestly, that's why we're not doing one. Here's why. I want to do this business. The future of this business is online. That's all there is to it. Nobody likes going and sitting in a hotel. It's not their favorite thing to do. They much rather sit down and meet with somebody one-on-one. That's how I am. That's how I do business. That's how most people want to do business. They want to sit face-to-face with somebody and do it. But it's very powerful still. Don't get me wrong. I don't want anybody to get bent out of shape of, oh, my God, he's talking bad about the DFY. No, if you want to do DFYs, you go do DFYs. Knock yourself out. I'm not going to push a DFY. That's just me. I'm going to do it online. I'm going to show up, do PBRs in person. And I'm going to do regional events in person. I'm going to do ILA in person. I'm good for all that. But we can get the information across to people. The numbers don't lie. Those are the numbers. So That's what we're going to do in Houston. We're going to have one-on-one chats with these two gentlemen. So does that mean that we have a smaller audience? Yes, it does. But here's the deal. Get the people that you have that have influence, okay? Now, I don't know a good way of making this explanation. I'm just going to go out there and hopefully not offend anybody. I'm not looking for the person that just got started waiting tables at a restaurant. That's not most likely. Now, there are exceptions, but that is most likely not going to be the absolute ideal candidate that you're looking to put in front of Mr. Mark Davenport and Mr. James Radford, okay? So we're looking for people that have a list. We're looking for people that already understand business. We want to be able to put them, if you ever had somebody on a chicken list, and if you have a waiter that's on your chicken list, you need to come back to Power Hour next week. All right. If you got a chicken list, if you got somebody that's on your list that's got huge, mad influence with a lot of people, somebody that you go up to and on a daily basis you call Sir, Mr., or Mrs. Okay. If you've got somebody that is of that caliber, that's who we're looking to be able to put in front of them. Now, if you got somebody that you're not sure, put them in front of them. All right. It does not take an absolute rock star in this thing to blow this thing up. I will tell you that the people that are on your chicken list, there will never be a better opportunity to put them in front of somebody. These guys have ultimate proof, okay? So if you've got somebody that you just been waiting for that perfect time that you want to put in front of the absolute best, this is the time, okay? So the way you go about doing that is you need to reach out to one of 4 or 5 people. Rocky will be on that list too. So Mr. Rocky Bose, actually any of your upline diamonds. I'm going to make this even easier. So if you got an upline diamond, and all of you do, then you need to reach out to them and say, I've got a prospect in one of these cities, specifically on the Houston side. Can you schedule a time for me? And then we will be able to work with you. We've got a schedule amongst us that we'll be able to find out if those time slots are open. So here's the dates, here's the times. On Sunday, and I don't know the date, I think it's the 4th. I'm so bad on dates. I just know that the end of the month is on Wednesday. Stand by.
4th.
Thank you. So on the 4th, there's going to be 3 windows. There's going to be 6 p.m.
You're over on the right-hand side over there.
Let me mute everybody out. We got a couple people came unmute there. So we've got 6 p.m., we've got 7 p.m., and 8 p.m. on Sunday. I think they're flying in from Chicago that afternoon. I think they land at 4. That'll give them time to get off and get to where we're meeting. I don't know that we've got the location nailed down. I think it's going to be Sarah and Sonia Ho moved to a new location. It's an amazing location. I had some team members that were at that location. It's right down the road from their previous place. And I believe they got the conference room on Sunday night. And then Monday, I think we're going to be back at the hotel. I need to nail that down with Mr. Bradford and Mr. Davenport. So anyway, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock on Sunday night, that's Central Time. And then on Monday, they're going to be there all day Monday. So I know Monday it's a work day, but hey, that's all right. It's going to be from 10 o'clock to 8 p.m. on the hour, every hour. And there will be openings. And it's going to be the 2 of them. So we should be able to double book, triple book. If we got a lot. Here's the deal. I doubt we're going to turn anybody away. We'll figure something out. We'll be able to get that set up. We'll make something happen. Other leaders are going to be there too to be able to help out. So don't worry about it. We're going to make sure they get FaceTime with these guys, and we'll get that in there. But again, I got to find the right balance here. I don't want anybody to think, oh, well, I shouldn't invite somebody to come to this thing. Just understand that we've got some heavy hitters that are coming in, and we want to be respectful of their time and put them in front of people that's not saying that these guys are going to do it either. Don't get me wrong on this. I don't care if they're going to do it or not. These are the people that you want to be able to get in front of so that they can let them see the light. But Ava, the guy that was giving you a hard time with the massage thingies, don't invite him. Get somebody that's wired right. All right. Get somebody that wired right, but this might not be their thing. That's who you're looking for. Somebody, I'll be honest with you. You got somebody that you know that's doing some other network marketing company. Here's how you go. And this is, and I want you guys to have this on the recording so you can go back. I want to give this to you on here's how I would approach this. You would say, hey, Jason, I'm looking at Jason. Jason, I've got some guys coming in. I needed to call you. This is something that just popped up. This is something very, very special, man. I know you're not interested in what I do. It's not your thing. But here's what I want you to do. I want you to suck it up. I want you to come anyway. because I want to introduce you to a guy that's already made $6 million in the last 4 years. And I want to introduce you to another guy that helped him do that. And not only has he helped that guy, he's helped over 150 other people become cash millionaires on this planet. Would you agree that it would make sense to hang out with a guy that's close to being a billionaire? Would it make sense to sit with him and just let something ooze off of him onto you? Would you think that would be a good thing? Yes or no? If they say no, they don't need to go. I get the opportunity to sit with somebody that's helped 150 other people become a millionaire. I don't care if he's talking about folding socks. I will sit there for 2 hours and listen. All right? That's me. That's who you're looking for, is the people that are interested in hanging out with people like that. Tell them, if nothing else, hey, network with the guy. Be polite. Listen to hear what he says. All you want them to do is get in front of them. If they don't have an interest, but they'll at least be polite and sit there, do that, because they got an interest, I promise you. It's killing them not to want to know what it is we do. And maybe you've attempted to explain it to them. Maybe you messed up. Maybe they're not interested. Maybe they don't want anything to do with this. But they see somebody like that with ultimate proof, that will change hearts and minds, I promise you. I promise you. It will change their mindset. And if it doesn't, hey, that's cool. We don't care. Okay? So don't feel bad about anybody that comes in that doesn't join. Completely fine. We bring your hardest nut to crack and get them in front of these guys. All right? All right, question, do guests pay or just business partners? Just business partners pay. I don't know if there's going to be a charge. I got to figure that out too. I'll post that if I find out for Houston. At the other locations, I believe it's $10. If you look on teamfusionfamily.com under events, for the other locations, I think they were charging $10 from what I remember. Houston, we're not going to have that. Now, you can come along with your guest, absolutely, to Houston. You can sit there. Let me tell you this right now. Do not, I repeat, do not interrupt those two guys when they're doing the presentation. If ever you needed to hit the mute button on yourself, hit the mute button. Here's the other thing. They will let you know that you need to hit the mute button if you don't. So just don't get there. I've seen that happen where people will come in and they just keep going and going and going. It's like, dude, I'm pretty sure Mark is going to be able to handle this conversation. He does not need any help. Your job is to get them in the car and get them there early. Don't be late. Make sure you're there and make sure you hit that time. When you're talking to people, if they can't commit to a time, do not waste that time slot on somebody. All right? So make sure that they know you're sitting down with a guy that's made over $100 million. We're not going to be late. Let's just make sure we're clear on this. If they're habitually late, you show up an hour early, you pick them up, you put them in your car, and you make it happen. This is one of those days where you need to go for an extended lunch. You need to be late. You need to have a doctor's appointment, dentist appointment, whatever you need to have also that day to be able to get somebody in front of these guys. You are literally one person away from absolutely crushing this business, especially our business, especially our comp plan. That's not always the case in other businesses, I promise you. You are one away. I had the dental appointment hookup. Sarah is selling doctor's notes is what I read right there. So, all right. See you in person. If I have my guest set, I've been working on guests for a very long time. Cool. All right. I think I got all the questions answered. Any questions on that comment about the Wealth Summit coming up in the next couple of days? All right. You got 2 days left of this month. Now, here's the thing that happens. This is an age-old question. Casey, I got somebody I think they might join. Should I put them in now or should I put them in next month? You put them in now. Plain and simple. Put them in now, put them in now, put them in now. Do not try to play games with the timing on the comp plan. That's something that happens in the last couple days of the month, and people will hold. You will build a culture that you do not want. You want, when somebody's ready, you put them in. You put them in right away, because here's what's going to happen. For one, it's good karma. I'll just go ahead and mention the obvious one. There will be a time when you are going to be real close to hitting Sapphire the second time and want your car, and everybody decides, oh, I'll just hold them until March 1st. And that's going to keep you from hitting that rank. And that does not feel good. All right. And what goes around comes around. Firm believer in that. So when it's your turn to be up there and you're getting ready to hit that rank, and people, you've built a culture of, oh, just wait. If it's anywhere in the last couple of days, just hold them until the next day. Don't do that. Don't do that. The other thing that'll happen, I've seen this happen all the time, is somebody will change their mind. They don't like that. They don't like the fact that they want to come in and now they got to wait because you're playing games. When somebody's ready, put them in. Put them in where they fit in is the little cliche, okay? The other thing is push. Push now. People think that this cycle is only 30 days or 28 days or 31 days or whatever. It's not. It is ever evolving and rotating, okay? What you do right now is what's going to cause an explosion to happen in March. You don't wait until March to have an explosion in March. The way you have an explosion in March is you got off your hiney and work like the dickens in the beginning of February. That's how you have an explosion in March, okay? So if you haven't been working like crazy, now is the time to start. You want to be at full speed when we go into a full month, especially with ILA being in the middle of that month, all right? Another thing, if you haven't seen going around the interwebs, is a video from Miss Jody Soper, the VP of Skincare, and there are some pretty darn good specials that are going on right now to finish out the month. If you are looking at needing a little bit of QV, maybe you need to get qualified. Everybody check the qualification. Check your qualification and make sure you've got, if you're garnet and below, you need 100 qualifying volume. And if you are a jade and above, you need 150 personal. Make sure you've got that. There's nothing worse than having a good month of some new growth and you're not qualified to receive anything off of that. So make sure you look at that and take ownership of anybody that's in your organization, placed or sponsored. I don't care. If they're underneath you, dig in on that. Make sure that they're covered. Make sure that they're good because they're brand new. They don't know. It is your job to help them take ownership of that. Oh, they should know that. Yeah, well, you should have known a lot of things in your past too. Somebody needs to tell them, and that's you. All right. So whoever sees it, do it. So make sure you're double checking that as we're coming into the end of the month. The other thing is ILA. Make sure you've got your ticket registered. Make sure you've got your ticket to the road rally. That's an awesome time. It's a lot of fun. You get some good barbecue and a lot of networking. I'm going to be there. Come find me. I'm going to be wearing a black cowboy hat. So I know it's going to be tough to find me. But you can come up and say hi, and I hope you do. Introduce yourself to me, and let me introduce you to the whole crew and my beautiful wife. So make sure you come out to that. It's going to be a great time. What else? Am I forgetting anything? Anybody? Anything that anybody wants to announce? Sorry, I went over a lot. All right. I'm going to unmute the lines, let everybody say good night, and we will see everybody on the 1st. Is there... No, we're unmuted. All right, very good. So y'all have a great night. Thank y'all so much for getting on.
Thank you.
Good night, everyone. Thanks, Casey.
Good night. Good night.
Good time. Cut a sentence out or
Good
two.
night, everybody.
Good night.